Hello, and thanks so much for watching. I'm Chanel Call in New York, and here are some of the stories we're tracking on CBS News Roundup. Hurricane Helene is barreling toward Florida. We'll show you the storm's path and how people are preparing. Israel and Hezbollah move closer to an all-out war as Israel prepares for a possible ground invasion of Lebanon. And on the campaign trail, Vice President Kamala Harris lays out her vision for the economy. Hurricane Helene is gathering strength with its sights on the southeastern U.S., expected to bring potentially deadly flooding and damaging winds. CBS's Jason Allen reports from the Florida coast in the path of the storm.
In Key West, high winds and strong waves pound the shoreline as Helene barrels toward Florida's Gulf Coast.
I think the likelihood of being able to get out of here and catch a flight back to Houston today or tomorrow is not very possible, so we're going to let it pass.
The powerful storm is threatening to wallop the Sunshine State and large portions of the southeast.
It's projected to leave up to 12 inches of rainfall, and the storm surge could reach 10 to 15 feet. In some areas. It's not a matter of whether we're going to get effects. It's just a question of how significant those effects will be.
In St. Petersburg, vulnerable residents and their fine-feathered friends were evacuated from flood-prone areas. And in Crawfordville, businesses and homeowners are boarding up, while plywood, generators, and gasoline containers are flying off the shelves.
This one here's got me a little bit more nervous than the others. I mean, for the extent of how wide and vast it is.
Here in the Big Bend coastal community of Steinhatchee, the big concern is storm surge. This small fishing community took a big hit from Idalia in the summer of 2023. Now, worst case scenarios have surge getting as high here as 20 feet. Across the area, authorities are urging, and in some cases ordering, residents to evacuate while there is still time.
I can't jump in my truck and go to Pensacola.
While in Atlanta, heavy rains ahead of Helene forced the final two games of a crucial series between the New York Mets and the Braves to be postponed. Jason Allen, CBS News, Steinhatchee, Florida.
And for more now on Hurricane Helene, we're joined by CBS News senior weather producer David Parkinson. David, thanks so much for being with us. What can we expect here?
Yeah, Chanel, two words: rapid intensification. That's how this storm is going to go from a Category 1 to a Category 4 in just 18 hours. Here it is, Category 4, landfall right around 7 p.m., 130-mile-an-hour winds. Then it makes its way inland. It's a tropical storm by the morning near Atlanta, and then it really falls apart and weakens after that. But a tremendous amount of damage is going to come. First, 10 to 20 feet of storm surge in the Big Bend. That's unsurvivable, but even well away in the Tampa Bay area, 5 to 8 feet of storm surge. Then you've got the wind, 100 to 120 mile an hour wind right along the landfall area, but then, 80 to 100 by Albany in Georgia and 250 miles away in Atlanta, 60 to 80 mile an hour winds. So well inland, you are dealing with a serious wind threat, and then 12 to 20 inches of rain in upstate South Carolina in the Blue Ridge Mountains, 9 to 12 inches of rain in Atlanta. Again, this is catastrophic flooding that we're talking about well away from the center. So Chanel, the key to know here is you only got several hours left to survive and prepare if you're right along the coast and well inland. You should expect lots of impacts.
Okay, good to know. David, thank you. Now to the Middle East. The U.S. is part of a group of countries calling for a 21-day ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. This as Israel is preparing for a ground invasion of Lebanon. CBS's Imtiaz Taib has more on this from Beirut.
The lives of so many here have been shattered so quickly, and the fear now is things are about to get far worse. While addressing troops on the northern border, Israel's army chief warned of a potential ground invasion in southern Lebanon. In just 3 days, over 600 have been killed and thousands more wounded here, according to Lebanese health officials, including Samea Moussawi. We are strong, she says. No matter what Israel does, we will remain strong. According to the UN, more than 90,000 people have fled Israel's strikes as Hezbollah continues to fire back. This ballistic missile aimed at Tel Aviv was intercepted, but Israel's leaders say their campaign won't end until residents displaced from rocket fire can go home, while Hezbollah says it won't stop targeting Israel until there's a ceasefire in Gaza.
And the idea of going into Lebanon on the ground is pretty tricky for them because Hezbollah is preparing for that, and it's what they really want to happen because they feel they can humiliate the Israelis, even though it'll come at a price.
NPR's Type, CBS News, Beirut.
On the campaign trail, the two presidential candidates are talking about a critical issue on the minds of voters, the economy. CBS's Skylar Henry has more on this from Washington.
Vice President Kamala Harris arrived at the Pittsburgh Economic Club to lay out her vision for the American economy.
I have pledged that building a strong middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
Harris says her plan involves three key pillars: lowering costs for American families, investing in innovations and entrepreneurs, and ensuring America leads in future industries, including artificial intelligence.
The next generation of breakthroughs, from advanced batteries to geothermal to advanced nuclear, are not just invented, but built here in America by American workers.
If she has a plan, she should stop grandstanding and do it. Just do it.
Campaigning near Charlotte, North Carolina, Trump tried to tie Harris to President Biden's economic record.
Kamala Harris is a one-woman economic wrecking ball. And this November, the people of North Carolina are going to tell her we've had enough. We can't take it anymore. Kamala Harris, you're fired. Get out. You're fired. You did a lousy job as vice president.
Not on hand for Trump's visit, Mark Robinson, North Carolina's embattled Republican gubernatorial candidate, who's alleged to have posted racist comments on a porn site. So far, Trump has not pulled his endorsement. Robinson tweeted Wednesday he's reaching out to the Republicans who have stopped supporting him, saying, "Now is not the time for intra-party squabbling and nonsense. We have 41 days to make our case. We can't do it without all hands on deck." Absentee voting began in North Carolina on Tuesday. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And join us Tuesday for live coverage of the CBS News vice presidential debate at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS. And for special streaming coverage, head over to CBS News 24/7 starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. CBS News has learned that New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted on federal criminal charges. It comes after a federal corruption probe into his inner circle. He would be the first New York City mayor to face criminal charges. Adams is maintaining his innocence. Straight ahead on CBS News Roundup, there is a plan to reopen the 3 Mile Island nuclear plant in Pennsylvania. We'll tell you why when we come back.